Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. The Atlas names surprising fighter as the opponent he would love to see face Gervonta Davis. Who will Gervonta Davis go up against this year? Gervonta Davis' plans for 2024 are still unknown, but Teddy Atlas has identified the fighter who would love to see the Baltimore face next. Davis only fought once in 2023, but the fight made big news as he produced the performance of his career to score an impressive stoppage over Ryan Garcia in a huge contest. With Romero's leading fighters operating around the same weight class as Davis, he won't be short of options. One of those fighters is a Puerto Rican puncher Subriel Matias, and although he is not as well known as the likes of Garcia and Devin Haney, the Atlas is a huge admirer, and he is happy at praise on a potential Matias vs Davis battle. Go jump in the fire, open up one of those old-fashioned furnaces and jump in. That's how you get ready for Matias, said Atlas when speaking on Fight podcast. The fight I would pay too much money to see is him and the Tank Davis. I would have loved to see a young Tank Davis in the ring. Now I would love to see Matias and Davis. Devin Haney is certainly no closer to a fight with Ryan Garcia than was the case 3 years ago when they were directly in each other's path. As the Boxing Sense previously reported, talks for a WBC junior welterweight title fight later this spring suddenly collapsed when Garcia opted to instead revisit plans to face Rolando Romero. "I've notified my team I'm going a different route," Garcia posted Saturday morning. "My intent now is to fight Rolando Romero." The news came as a surprise to many, thought merely the latest disappointment to his intended target, who has grown familiar with the process. "Don't ever mention my name, pussy boy," Haney said. Devin Haney planned to make the first defense of his WBC 140-pound title versus Garcia in what would have provided the sport with an attractive matchup in the first quarter of the year. Garcia was eager to push the fight shortly after his 8-round knockout of Oscar Duarte at top of December 2nd, DAZN show from Toyota Center in Houston. Haney became a two-division titleist 1 week later after a 12-round shutout of Regis Grace in his birth town of San Francisco, California. Both parties confirmed later in the month that talks were underway. Everyone did well but seemed confident in the progress. In fact, Oscar de la Hoya, Garcia's promoter and a Hall of Fame former 6th Division champion, told Boxing Sense and other reporters as recently as Friday that he was optimistic about the prospects of Golden Boy Promotions hosting such a fight in early spring, and he is now left to search for his own next option, as Garcia believed that there is ground to reignite a conversation with Las Vegas Romero, who is suddenly confident of that fight happening next spring 2024. Romero tweeted shortly after Garcia went public with his claim. Romero currently holds the WBA junior welterweight title. However, he is on the hook to next face the winner of the O'Hara Davis Ismael Barroso interim WBO title fight, which takes place Saturday at Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. Failure to honor the order would result in his being stripped of the title, absent the Davis Barroso winner agreeing to step aside. A fight between Garcia and Romero would carry enough clout to where a belt wouldn't necessarily need to be at stake. Garcia still proceeded with last April's super fight versus Gervonta Davis, which was fought at maximum contracted weight at 136 pounds. Davis's WBA lightweight title was not at stake in their high-profile fight, which Baltimore's Davis won via 7-round knockout. Haney is now left to explore other options for his first fight on 2024. The development is reminiscent of the early stages of his WBC lightweight title reign. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.